So 4 to 5 months into prison, you started to come off the drugs, and this is when you started to feel all those emotions. You heard about thinking about what you had done in the past, what had happened within your life, the people you'd lost, everything that had occurred. And this is when you started to, as you said, attend those seminars and those workshops and start to learn about, overcoming loss, dealing with drug addictions and so forth. Now, you left prison in 2016, so it's now obviously 2023. It's been about 7 years now. Reflecting back on it to this period in your life when you left prison, how difficult was it to reintegrate into society? You didn't have a roof over your head, and you went on to Centrelink benefits of about $500 a fortnight.
Correct.
And I think you were paying rent like $200 a week or so. So you only had like fish and chip money to live off, 50 to 60 bucks or so. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the other struggles was, I wasn't released a free man. So when I got out of jail, it wasn't like, see you later, you've done your time. I still had to do a men's behaviour change program, a drug and alcohol program, a mental health program. I had to see, I had judicial monitoring, so I had to see the judge every month. I had to see my caseworker at corrections weekly, and I had to do 380 hours of community work, as well as try and manage a job to get off Centrelink.
Getting work was hard to come by. Most people, they see you're coming out of jail, you're an ice addict.
Yeah.
You leave a trail behind you, don't you? And no one really wants to have a part of you.
Correct. Yeah. No, every job I applied for, no one wanted to know. And like you said, I was living on $60 a week, and I was desperate. And one day, I went to see my caseworker and said, you know what, can't do this no more. I am struggling. I'm hungry. I'm broke. I was going to the Uniting Church and the Salvation Army for food parcels on a fortnightly basis, just to survive from week to week. And I said to the caseworker, can't do it. I think I'm better off back in jail because this is tough. Now I could have went, I could have went straight back to dealing because that would have been the easiest option. At least I could have got by that way. But I knew this time, if I had gone into those circles again, that I would have ended up in jail for a very long time, or ended up dead. And I didn't want that. I wanted something different. I wanted to get my kids back in my life. I wanted to prove to my brother that I could do that. I could get my life back. And I just wanted to show my kids that that I can come back from the brink, and I am there for them. And that's what I did.
And it was hard. It was hard finding your footing coming out of prison, those initial stages. So your brother, you got the train to your brother in the city, and then he took you to Sunshine Coast, and you're expecting to turn up to this place that was going to be your home for the foreseeable future, and you were pleasantly surprised by what you saw at this boarding house, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I remember rocking up. Like you said, my brother picked me up from the train station. It took me to Melbourne's West. I rock up to the driveway of this house, and there's a car in the driveway, and all the windows were smashed, no number plates, and I'm thinking, "Fuck, what sort of place is this?" Yeah. There was a couch in the middle of the lawn, and I knocked on the door, and this lady, I could hear mumbling in the background. This lady answered the door. She was quite a large lady. She was cockeyed. One eye was looking one way, another eye was looking another way, and she was absolutely smashed on heroin. And she's saying, she's slurring her words, saying, "You must be here for the room." And she's got all these keys in her hand, like Maxwell Smart. And she undoes these 3 padlocks on the door. She goes, "Follow me." Undoes these 3 padlocks on the door. And she said, "Your room smells like piss because the guy in the room next door pisses on the wall and it goes into your carpet." right? And sure enough, she opens this room and the smell of piss locked me for a six. You know, I stuck my head in and there was 3 syringes on the carpet, used syringes. And my accommodation was a mattress and base, and there was a big, dirty, rotten brown blood patch in the center of the mattress. And that's where I was supposed to start my new life. It was putrid. And then, you know, she's saying, now, if you go to the toilet or you go have a shower, you've got to lock the door because everything gets stolen in this house, right? And I was looking at my brother thinking, bro, help me out here. I can't stay here. And then what really scared me was she said, and my room is right across the road from yours. So if you need anything, and I mean anything, you can, you know, you can call me any time of the night, right? Now, I just done 12 months in prison and I was not that desperate, you know. Um, but you know, I begged my brother if I could stay in his car because I didn't want to stay in the house. Unfortunately for me, he got me out of that house and he got me into a nice clean boarding home where I could start my new life. So I had a clean roof over my head. It was a drug-free home. Now I had a roof over my head. All I needed was a job, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be.